Hey everyone, Cassie here. Welcome back to my channel for another video. Today I'm going to be sharing the Trinity Stamps Greatest Friend on Earth release. This is jam-packed with some awesome stuff. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right into it. And I'm going to have everything linked down below. If I can fit it. If I can't fit it, I will have a link and it'll take you to where you need to go and you can see pictures of all the different things and you can go from there. But let's jump in. Our first thing is going to be a slimline stamp. Trinity Stamps is great for those. They had a couple during the last release. I think they started doing it around October last year, and they've come out with some really fun ones. So this one is called the Doodle Garden Slimline. It's a 4x11 stamp set. But this right here, this main stamp, is going to fit on a slimline beautifully. So much so that you'll be able to have a nice little layering around it if you'd like. But this stamp is so cute because you have all these little flowers and you have all the little circles in the center, and you can stamp these cute little faces in those. You could put a few in, you could do all of them. And then we have our sentiments that say Happy Mother's Day, Best Buds, Sending Smiles, and You Make Me So Happy. So I do have a couple of samples with this just awesome set. I think it'd be great for all kinds of occasions, but I love that it's Mother's Day. The first one that I put smiles in every flower. I Copic colored this one, so it did take a little bit of time, but this one was so much fun. I love the result. I mean, look at that flower. That is just so cute, right? A little smile on each one of the flowers. I love it. And this one I did make as a Mother's Day card, but another one I made, simpler one, was I just heat embossed this with blue and then used colored pencil to color in all of the centers of the flowers. So no smiles on that one, but you could absolutely do that if you wanted as well. So those are those two right there for this stamp set. All right, our next one is called Abracadabra. This is a 4x6 stamp set, and as you can tell, I've been using it. And we also have matching dies. So this is great because this stamp set, I mean, it doesn't have a lot of words, but there are some great coordinating dies. There's some other stamps that will go perfectly for magic. In fact, there's one, let me grab it real quick, that has been out for a bit, and it's this one. It's basically called Magical Sentiments, and so many of those are perfect. Then you can get the matching die with it. That was a previous release. I'll have it linked down below with Abracadabra, but check it out. So you've got the little head. You could make it so that she is like you'd saw the girl in half. So we've got the feet and the arms that you could do, and those each have a coordinating die. So pretty much everything on here has a coordinating die except our little images that you would put or could put on your card if you wanted. Otherwise, everything else has a matching die. And even this one cuts out the little pieces in between, almost like spokes, I guess. But I love this. And I have a couple samples of this one. Let me pull those out. This is one where I just, you know, stamped and colored and put them on there. And then I have an interactive one. So here is our interactive one where I use some interactive dies and I made it so that we've cut her apart. And there you go. How fun is that? Oh my gosh. I love that. And then, so yeah, that's a fun set. All right. And then, so let me put these away. But so much coordinates in this Greatest Friend on Earth release. So we've got that one. Our next one is called First Bloom. This is another 4x6 stamp set. And it is just flowers, but these are beautiful. And we have a die for each one of those images as well. And I do have a sample for this one. So I made a mini slimline. And we'll talk about some of the other products that I used on all of these cards. We'll bring them out as we talk about those products. But isn't that fun? And then I just paired it up with a sentiment for almost everything. That one is a staple, which I can have that one linked down below as well. All right, our next one is a gnome. This one is Friends Are Flowers, another 4x6 stamp set. And it is a big, beautiful one with lots of great flowers, fun to color. And our sentiment says, friends are the flowers that make life beautiful. And then we also have a little butterfly, and we have matching dies for all three of the images. So the one that goes around the sentiment as well. And I do have a sample for that. So there's that one. So I love how that sentiment, it cuts out all around those words. Super fun, and I hope it colored that one. All right. Our next stamp set is called Hometown Parade. And this one is so cute as well. We've got this banner, and this little banner can be held by, you know, a couple of the little critters in here like the hippo or the pig. And you can put "Let's celebrate," "Congratulations," "Welcome little one," and "Happy birthday." They all would fit into that banner. You could have them each carrying a different one if you wanted, I suppose. "Congratulations, welcome little one," or "Let's celebrate, happy birthday." Just super fun. Or "Let's celebrate, congratulations, let's celebrate." That would be a fun one too. And this has matching dies for everything but the words. So all the little elements in there, even the musical notes, the circle, all of it. And I have a couple of, so here's our matching dies. I have a couple of samples for this one. I did this one, where it's just our little hippo. I love how he sits on the little tricycle. You could have him standing too. You wouldn't have to put him on the tricycle. You could put him on the ball. I mean, a lot of options. He could hold all kinds of things. So there's that one. And then I also made this one where he's holding the banner again. The little pig is standing on the ball, and then we have our little duck behind. But, and did I do, oh, and then I also put the mouse and the goldfish on the inside. So those are super fun as well. All right, our next stamp set is another 4x6. This one is called Le Cirque. And it doesn't have any words with it, but I'm telling you, everything's gonna just go together. So you've got these little images, you've got the front or the back of the little girl. And we also have, you'll notice these stamps are together, but that makes it really nice because the die is together. So you're not having to piece together all the little dies. I love this. I think that's great. So it's the one stamp, use the one die, it cuts out all three pieces. I think that's fantastic. And then we've got our little ringmaster. She could be holding the little saucer. We've got the little mouse, so he would coordinate beautifully with our little mouse house. We've got the seal, he could be a clown, you know, clown. He could be juggling, all kinds of fun stuff that you could do with this one. I have a sample with this one. I made a 5x7 card. So I like making 5x7s. I think I'm gonna start doing that a little bit more, but hope your day is over the top. Happy birthday. And just pulling in some of those other sentiments from other sets. Okay, our next one is called Once Upon a Mime. And this one has some fun little sentiments, but we've got 4 little mimes. You've got little bits to go with them. Again, here's a stamp that will stamp out all of these little pieces, the heart, the circle, the little like bandana, a mustache, and the bow. And then we have the die that will coordinate right over the top of that. So it takes a little bit less out of that. This one is another one like that. So it's got the flower and the little water, like, you know, sometimes those mimes have the flower on their chest and the water squirts out. So that die is the same way. But we do have matching dies for each of the words. And so we've got "Words Cannot Express My Gratitude," "Hello, Friend of Mime," "Once Upon a Mime," "Will You Be Mime," "I Love You with All Mime Heart," and "Partners in Mime." Super fun little set. And so I do have a sample from that one as well. Here we have it. I went ahead and went simple since mimes usually have their faces painted white. I went ahead and just stamped and colored using just warm grays, or I think it was warm grays, and then put them all on this one. "Words Cannot Express My Gratitude," "Hello, Friend of Mime." And then stuck with just the red, black, and white theme. Thought that was fun. Okay, another stamp set we have. This one is fun. This one is called Balancing Act. This is a 4x4, so now we're moving into our smaller sets. This 4x4 set has, you know, all these little main images. Then we have a couple of small ones. You could have the little monkey or the dog holding the stick and with an umbrella, or teacups. On one of my samples, I put the teacups on the dog's nose. And then I did put the little plate on top of the stick, and the monkey's holding it. But we also, like, you could make it so that they're trying to go across the whatever we call that, the rope. So we've got bravo, you're amazing, life is a balancing act, hope your day is over the top. So that's where I pulled that one set in for the last, or the sentiment in for the last sample I showed. But this one will cut out all those pieces as well, even the long one. My suggestion, if you're doing that long one, because these can be a little finicky, I can show you that later, but you'd want to, you know, put the die down. If you're planning to die cut it, put the stamp on top of that, and then you can pick that up with either your stamp block or your MISTI or stamp positioner. But let me show you a sample with this one, because I love how this one turned out. I made it interactive. It's a 5x7, and then what I did, because he's tipping, is I have a big circle cut behind them, and I have a small circle here, and then I just have it so that they can tip back and forth. So if you shake it, they go back and forth like they're teetering. I love how that one turned out. And then I stamped the little guy on the inside a few times, but super, super fun. And by the way, if there are any, and I'll repeat this at the end again, if there are any of these cards that you would like me to repeat, like make, so that I can show you how I did it, leave that in the comment section down below, along with whatever products that you liked. But I'll repeat that at the end just to set that reminder. But there's that one. All right, our next one is called Greatest Friend on Earth. I love this one. We've got our little ringmaster and our lion, the little stage they could stand on. No lion, you're the best. You steal the show, you're the greatest friend on earth. And you've got dies for all of those, even the words. I love it. So I've got 3 examples using this one. Here is one. Love it, love it. We also have this one, another 5x7. I've been really enjoying making those 5x7s. Then we have this one, which is a slimline. I just thought that was super fun. So yeah, not tired of this little set. Love it, and I'll probably make lots more with it. So there are those. Okay. All right, this next set is called Paper Crafting Magic, and this is a 4x4 stamp set. There are some coordinating dies. This one says that this is no ordinary card, it's Paper Crafting Magic, and it does cut out those words. We also have this one. This die cuts out a bunch of different arrows, and this one will cut out a bunch of different elements. Now, I don't think that any of these coordinate with any of the rest of these, but this is a great, if you like making interactive cards, this is fabulous for interactive cards, because we've got open, tear, you know, me, you could pay open me, tear me, whatever. Slide, pull, I'm interactive, spin, push, shake, and you could do that with here, push here, surprise inside. But isn't that fun? And I used that one with this. So here's where it says, this is no ordinary card. It cuts out each of those words. And I did stamp pull right here, right there. And then on the inside, it's Paper Crafting Magic. And Paper Crafting Magic, those are 2 separate cutouts. But super fun, right? So keep that one in mind. All right, our next one is a 3x4. This one is called Circus Bear. And so, as you can tell, I've been using these like crazy. This one will coordinate great with like the hometown parade, also great with the one I just showed you, the greatest friend on earth, I think. And so this is 2 little images. You've got your bear with the poodle on the big tricycle, and then we have the big flag. Life is a better ride with you by my side, and let the good times roll. And we've got dies for each of the images. The cool thing about this die for the bear is that it will cut out the little spokes as well. So let me show you a couple of examples using this one. So I have this sample. That one was super fun. And then I have another interactive one that I made, because I thought, how fun would it be to have her going across the card like she's writing across the card. So there you go. And then I stamped her on the inside as well, I think. Yeah, and I stamped her on the inside of this one. That's why she is dyed pink, basically. The pink ink pad that I used kind of dyed it pink, which is fine. It doesn't bother the stamp, and it stamps just fine. Okay, so that one is our Circus Bear. Next we have So very loved. It's another 3x4. This is a Love Danny from the Love Danny Studio line. And it's great. It's got the clouds, hearts, a rainbow, and the sun. And then it says, just wanted you to know how very loved you are. It has a matching die with it. And what this die will do is you can cut out a base. Then you can cut out the separate little pieces from each of the colors, and I'll show you because I have a sample. Then we've got loved and then the outline for it as well. And that will fit nicely over the top of this. And then this die right here will actually cut out all the words behind it. And here is my sample for this one. So I used some glitter cardstock I stamped out. And what I did, let's see if I can. So I kept the outline, and that actually helped me line up over the top of the base using, keeping the outline of one of them. And that way I can line up all the little pieces so much easier, which is great. Or you could just cut it out like this from a piece of cardstock, and then you could layer these pieces just right into that, like in inlay. But it cuts out the words, just wanted you to know how very loved you are. And it will, it cuts out that just fine, and you could color it, but I wanted to put the die over the top just to take it to the next level. So there is this one. I think this one is just gorgeous, just gorgeous. So I'm keeping those together. And then, what do we got next? Now we're moving on to some standalone dies. So this die right here is called the Build a Big Top die. And it might look a little bit intimidating because you have all these little pieces. It's super easy to put together, super easy. Here is my sample using that one. You've already seen it, but it will build this whole tent. But you also have, like, this banner can go across that. You have these. And then this could be like the string coming down, like it's holding the tent to the ground. And then you could have the little flag banners. These will cut out tiny little flags. I didn't try it, but it will. And then, but yeah, and you could, these cut out two separate pieces. As you can see, mine didn't get lined up. I didn't line it up perfectly when I glued it back together. And by that point, it was too late. So it does look like I have a little something right there. What you could do is have this be like, if you're looking through into the tent, like the ground, and maybe you could even, I have a card that I made a while back with a hockey player and a crowd in the background, just using your marker or whatever, just put a bunch of dots. So there's that. I just think it's so cool. It's this fun, and I know the team has done some great stuff with it too. But there is the Build a Big Top die. And again, if you'd like to see me use any of these specifically, put that in the comment section. Our next one is another great one. This one is called the Center Stage Slimline Die. Another that looks a little bit intimidating when you look at it like this. I used it on here, but it will go fine if you wanted to use it on top of a regular size card as well. I didn't use all the pieces, so you'll notice that there is this piece right here. This is like seats. So these could fit at the bottom of one of your cards. And then all these little pieces right here are faces and hair. So these are the faces that would go behind the hair, like the back of the head for a lot of these. And then you could even cut out their little ears if you wanted to, the little curly parts of the hair, a bun. I just don't have those cut out, but that is how that would work. You've got your curtain and your strap to hold it back. There's a long piece right here that can be used in a couple different places. I used it at the very top just to kind of define. But yeah, it's a great set for scene building. If you enjoy the scene building line, this is another good one for that. So there's that one. All right, we've got a bunch more, so let's keep going. Our next standalone die is the Embossed Circle Windows. So that's this one. And I'll pull out my sample for that one. This is going to, you've got two separate dies here. They are going to give an embossed line, and then this one will also give an embossed line around the circles, and you'll have the circle pieces that will cut. I kept these together. I don't know why, I just did. But you could make a frame, and I do have the frame here. I just kept it, and I have the circles from cutting it out of here. And you'll notice there is an embossed line on those circles that it cuts out, and also on the circle it leaves behind. So it's just those little extra details that take it to the next level. And so this has an embossed line around the whole outside edge. I love that. It just, so classy. So that is this one. So that's for regular slimline cards. Then we have another one, but this is the mini modern embossed slimline die. So this is for a mini slimline. I used this one. Let me find that card. On, oops, this one right here. So again, I used the frame. I cut it out of some green. I cut apart only the inside one. So there's 3 there, and then your circles. And I kept the 2 together and made a frame. That's where you've got the green frame on the outside. But yeah, check out that embossed detail. It just is so cool. And it will be on all 3 of those circles. And then also on the circles that it cuts out. So I've got enough little pieces, you know, save those, make another card. So very cool. Love it. Love it. Love it. Next one is our Rainbow Funshine die set. I think this was a freebie back around Black Friday time frame. And so you may already have it. Maybe you already have it. But I love this because you can cut out all kinds of rainbows. And what I did actually, because I figured I was already in the mode of doing it, I cut out, you know, the die using each of the colors that you see here. And then I had enough to just make the rainbows. So I went ahead and just put them all together. So you've got your base and then all your rainbow pieces. And then you just glue these pieces to the base. You have a little sun that you could add the face to or not. And then you have a cloud and also a little mini heart. But yeah, so I've got a bunch of already made, not in order I suppose, but already made rainbows if I want to use those on other cards later. So here we have that. All right, next one is That's the Ticket Slimline, and I did use it on this one as well. So you've got the regular Slimline ticket. You also have the mini Slimline. You've got the words that say ticket and the background, and then you have admit 1, which is what I used right here. You have a couple of stars, and then you have a smaller ticket size. And it looks like this one has some good embossing with it. This one has some embossing as well as cutting out the little holes. But it's just cute to be able to make like something look like a ticket, which goes so great, obviously, with the whole greatest friend on earth. So we have got that. And that that's a fun one. Oh my goodness, super fun. And then our last die, like standalone die, is this one called the Slimline Burst Builder. I used this on a couple of cards. Pull those out real quick. It is made for slimlines, but it could also be used on regular size cards. I kept mine together, didn't cut it apart. In fact, I don't suggest you do that, just because it's easier to lose the pieces that way. So I keep it together. And then, like I made this one, they all piece together beautifully. To get this, you'd have to cut this out twice of whatever your colors were. And so I've got this fun Slimline Burst. And then I also used it on this one. So I made the background using some darker gray. And then like the upper part is using like a coral color, but it pieces together beautifully. So there are those two. So super fun with Slimline, huh? All right, now we're moving on to some stencils. We've got a few stencils. This first one is called, get it out, Curtain Call. Curtain Call comes with several stencils. We've got the pieces that will mask as well for each of these. So it's 3 pieces, and you can see mine is well loved already. And they layer over the top of each other, and they work great. And then you've got your masks. So here I used it on a 5x7, but it's great on a slimline or even a regular A2 or a mini slimline. Used it on this one, used my mask, and then layered up from there. So I started with the big one, started with my lightest color, moved on to my next lightest color, and then my darkest color. Actually, in this case, I used Nuvo paste over the top of it to give it some shimmer, but that's how I made that. And then I put the mask over the top so I could get the bottom down here, like a stage. Isn't that fun? So much building of scenes and everything, and you know how I love that. We're not done there. We've got a few more, so. All right, our next stencil is called the Good Morning Sunshine Layering Stencil. It's a set of 2. And you can play with it the way you want to. I did mine a little bit differently, but I know the team has done some great stuff with it. Works great on Slimline. This is a 5x7, but the way these work, just like all their other stencils, there's like the embossed line, and you'll have some nice white lines between it, but you'll have this sunshine, sun ray kind of look going on. I kind of just staggered mine around just to get a different look, but isn't that fun? It's really great. So then you can add different colors, just play around with it. Be creative. All right, so that was the Good Morning Sunshine stencil. Our next one is the Puffy Cloud stencil, and I use that on actually a few cards. Let's see, we've got those two, and this one, and this one. It is a puffy cloud like this. So you've got several different, you know, small edges, the big longer slimline, and you just kind of move them around. So I did it on this background here a little bit, did it on this background, did it on this background, and did it on this background. I mean, it's clouds. It's like a staple. So love that, and love that it works great with Slimline. Now our next one, and I'll have to keep this out here, or I'll end up bringing some of those back. Our next one is the Spring Day Scene Builder. So this one used it, this one used it, this one, I think that's it. But I used it on a lot too because it's scene building. And this one is a two-stepper. So this whole first one, you've got bushes, you've got like a tree branch, which I used on this one. We got a tree branch and the tree, and then you've got all the little pieces that go with it. And then this one is just grass. So it's a lot like our cloud builder, but we have different types of grass. And you just stagger it around. So I used it on this one. Got our grass and some bushes back there. Some bushes and some more grass. And then this one just uses the grass. Another staple. Absolutely love it. All right, two more, and these ones are 6x6 stencils. So hold tight. Hold tight. Okay, the next one is actually called Starstruck. Let me pull out this one. So I have a couple of samples for this one as well. Move these. Okay, this one is called Starstruck. It's a one-piece stencil, and that's what it looks like. I love that it's like that little swirl. So I used it on this one. What I did is I blended out some blue, and then I just turned the stencil ever so slightly, and I used some Nuvo paste on it, so it really filled that background. But it adds a lot of shimmer, a lot of shine. And then I used it on this one, just keeping it the way it was, blended on top, and then covered it with some paste. And I do have a video for that one. That's on my page, or my channel, so if you want to see how I made that one, you can head there. But that one, again, is called Starstruck. All right, and then our last stencil. This one is another star one. This one's called Superstar, and this is a two-piece one. So it layers up. We've got, if you put them over the top of each other, but this is how they are separate. And there's the embossed lines on the top so that you can line those up the way that they're supposed to go. So this one I used it just like that, using some Nuvo pastes. And I did the blue for the three and then the red for the inside. And this one, I used different colors. So I started with my blues, went to my yellow, my reds, back to the yellow again. But it's a fun stencil also. Lots of options. Lots of options. Okay, so as I said earlier, if there's any product that you're interested in, I'm going to do my best to have it linked down below. If you don't see a full list, there will be a link to a picture list that you can go to. I'll have that for sure. Not sure how that's going to work just yet, simply because I haven't done that part yet. But so there will be a link that leads to the stuff. What I would like from you is down in the comment section, if there are any of these cards that I made that you'd like to see me duplicate or replicate, because I did make a ton of samples. If there's anything that you would like to see me replicate, go go ahead and leave that down in the comment section. You know, just tell me which stamp set it came from, maybe what it had on it, whatever. I would love to know. Not only that, maybe let me know what your favorite set was, because I can tell you, I have a lot of favorites from this release. A lot of good stuff. But there you go. Now you know why I've been a little MIA. I've been very busy making lots of samples. All right, everybody, if you like this video, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I will see you very soon in another video. Bye, everybody.